Why hello there beautiful people and welcome to OTT. This time out it's a full game review of the recent release of Ride. Now Ride is produced by the developers Milestone. Now I think this is one of the most important videos I've done for quite a while, if I'm being honest with you. Mainly because this game, well let's just talk about the whole motorcycle car racing game genres for a quick second. Now, car racing games are quite 10 a penny. There are plenty of them out there, which means you have varying degrees of complexity, polishness, just how good the game is finished. Like, for example, you have games like Gran Turismo, which are released more as a beta and then worked on over many, many months and years following. And then you go on to other games which are, hopefully like Project Cars, cross fingers, which are going to be masterpieces. And then when it comes to bike games, it's quite a different league. Bike games have always been the lesser known cousin, the one that always ends up with the shorter end of the stick. So for example, for every 10 car games that get released, there'll probably be one bike game, and that bike game will probably have half the effort and budget that will go into any of the other car games. Now, I should explain the main reason why I purchased this game, which I shall also just leave a side note, cost me £45, mainly because it was an Easter weekend and it was all nowhere else to get it from. And I had many high hopes for this game. I thought, well, I tried the demo. The demo is a piece of shit, to be honest, but I thought maybe the game might be a bit more polished, so therefore, give it a go. So, I went out, I have bought the game, I've played it now for over 8 hours. And here are the facts and the honest truths about Ride. Now, some of them aren't going to be very good, so be prepared. Right, so first off, let's deal with the pros, the good stuff about Ride. The good stuff is, as far as next-gen motorbike games go, it's probably the best one out there, graphics-wise, stuff like that. But this isn't a very hard thing to beat. Like I said, it's such a small pool anyway. So the only other games I can think of is Motorcycle Club, which is an absolute... it's a joke. Don't buy Motorcycle Club. And I don't want to spoil the ending of this video, so spoiler alert, but don't buy Ride. I don't know what version we're on right now. I think it's version 1.0. This is before any patches. I'm recording this on the 11th of April 2015. There has not been any patches for this yet, and this is the current state of the release game. So, let me just show you a quick thing, because the pros list is pretty much over. I should also just mention as well, before I forget, the physics are quite good. They really are quite nice. It reminds me quite a bit of Gran Turismo, not Gran Turismo, it reminds me a bit of Tourist Trophy, but a bit more up to date. But if I'm honest, the entire quality of the physics isn't the most complex, but it's an okay solid foundation. Now, on to the huge list of cons. I hope you've not got anything to do this week, because this is going to take a while. Would you like me to show you the first and most biggest problem we have right now in this current version of Ride? Let me show you. Right, let me explain. What you are looking at is me just attempting to go on to the career mode, which is called World Tour. So as you can see, this is World Tour, which is basically the campaign mode for Ride. And this is me attempting to load up my save file. Like I said, I've played it for around 8 hours, which is pretty much... I should explain most of that time is taken up by the game crashing. Now, let me explain the point of which it crashes. It crashes at the end of a championship. So you complete 5 races, you win the championship, and as you click X to load up the main screen again, it crashes. I've had that at least 5 to 7 times in an 8-hour playing experience. So that's pretty much one failed crash. Well, sorry, it's a successful crash, depending on what side you look at it. One crash per hour, which is fucking terrible. Also, there's many other small little things in this game which are annoying. So, let me just retry this. No, it's not going to... So, sorry, I can't load up my career mode at the minute. And then, look, I'm stuck in a loop. I can't... I'm pushing circle to try and get out of it, so I can't. This is what I'm stuck with. Yes. Right, so... Let's sort out the rest of the cons, shall we? First off, I'm going to have to delete this data, which is a fucking irritating. Right, so I've still got these credits. How does that work? By the way, I've not tried online, so I don't think I'll bother until they actually start doing some patches. So just for demonstration purposes, we're going to move on to quick mode. Seems as my campaign is temporarily or probably permanently disabled, out of order, and never going to be seen ever again. I am going to tell you this. There is another video. It's going to be a let's rant on this. I am doing my best to hold back the anger, the rage at this stupidity that I am witnessing and that I have paid for. I am not a happy gamer right now. Alright. We'll go on to time trial. We'll show you some of the tracks because it shouldn't take long. Right, so you have Stelvio, which is a very nice Italian place. Very nice. You got an American track, that's quite nice. The North Wales, love it. Fantastic track. Kanto, which is in Japan, very beautiful. The scenery is fantastic. You would have seen some of the backgrounds from my previous Suzuki GSXR crotch rocket montage video. You have the French Riviera, which isn't the best replication of Monaco and all that, which is obviously what it's trying to do. So that's kind of a missed attempt there. We have Milano in Italy. Quite a standard road going track, very smooth tarmac, nothing really complicated there. We have Miami. Another street course, really doesn't... Well, this is kind of hitting onto another one of the problems. This game does not have weather effects. This game does not have a day-night cycle. It does not have any tyre wear. It's very basic, is the word. Very fucking basic. We have Imola, which I was so happy to see we have Imola on this game, which is fantastic. It's good to see them putting the effort in to put that there. But considering the rest of the game, not really much of a bonus. Sugo, I've never really heard of it to be honest. I've ridden around it once or twice. Donington. Now the version I've played Donington in a lot of different racing games, and this is a very good version of it. Very good version. So whoever did that, thumbs up. Road America course. I've ridden that on a few different games as well. Quite a good interpretation of it. Then the track feels narrower for some reason. I can't explain why. Magny course. It's in France. I think I've been around there. I'm not... You see, the thing is, the game's so poorly laid out that when you are doing a championship, for example, it doesn't really explain what track you're about to race on. So you'll finish one event, you'll move on to the next event, and it doesn't really give you a clear explanation of what track you're about to race on. And, yeah, it makes your life a lot harder. It's a lot of details like that which just seems like they're cutting corners. Or there wasn't enough budget, or just like the passion died out mid-process of developing this. Circuit de Almela. Almela? Probably. Spanish. Been around there, it's okay, quite nice, not bad. And Potrio de los Fins Circuit is in Israel. First track I've ever seen in Israel, it's not bad, it's okay. So what we're going to do... Oh, do I actually still have my bike? Oh, thank fuck. That's lovely. At least I've still got my bike. Because this GSXR race bike, it cost me around 90,000 credits. So I was happy to see that's still here. As you can see by this picture here, on the Ninja, if you look at the picture at the bottom on the actual row, you can see it's glitched out. Now this is one of the many glitches in this game. I don't have the time or the... energy to list all of the fucking glitches in this game. But that's just one of them. It's very irritating. It also has a bad habit of when you've selected a bike, it will show a picture of the bike that you had last instead. So it will say the bike name of the correct bike that you've chosen, but it will show you a picture of a bike that you're not using. It's just very freaking confusing. So let's move on. And let's show you another thing that really irritates me. Now some of you will think, why are you really bothered about this? Let me show you. You see there for a second you had a flash of a 1080 HD very nicely rendered image. Now look what you have on the loading screen. You have 4 set pieces of written information. And then halfway through loading it will load up your bike in 1080 and it will load it up properly with decent... graphics, very good graphics, but look what happens when you push X to continue. You go back to the stupid, that can't be a HD picture. I'm sorry, that can't be HD. And the fact that's just. And by the way, just for a quick note, that loading time is actually very quick in comparison to what it is usually for loading up, for example, on career races. So it's a big gulf between the load times. Now we've got race options. This is just to show you what options you have. You have Ghost, which is obviously yourself when you've done a lap. Rewind is rewind. I'm sure you've come across this feature in different games. Physics, I always have it on Pro, but they do vary. Now one thing I do say is a thumbs up on this is the tutorial at the start of the game pushes you through all different versions of the physics. It will actually actively show you each version, so you get a taste of it and you know which one will probably suit you best. Now because you have Pro, it takes these off auto brakes. As it says in the description, it just makes it a lot easier to do both brakes at once. Oh, is it? No, sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. I'm thinking of joint brakes, yeah. Anyway, you get it. So we'll turn that back onto Pro. Anti-wheelie, which I think is cheating, but fair enough for people that can't be asked to fight the bike, especially a powerful one, to stop it, pulling up into the sky. Fair enough. Tucking. Now tucking is obviously where you tuck into the bike and you make yourself more slipperier, better aerodynamics, quicker acceleration, higher top speed. Now the reason why I have it on automatic is purely because there's so many buttons I have to do anyway, because I have front brake, back brake, gears, accelerator, stuff like that. So yeah, last thing I need is to tuck in as well, because the way the buttons are laid out is very awkward, especially for me. Ideal trajectory is simply a racing line, the line you have on the track which indicates when to brake, where to turn, etc. Of course, I have manual or you have semi-automatic. That's your only two options. Semi-automatic is pretty much full automatic, to be honest, where you can just obviously change down a gear if you want to. Now traction control. Now this is a plus. This goes under the pros. Traction control is usable on the fly. So if you're on a race, you are riding around, you can be actively switching in between different stages of traction control between off, low, medium and high. So you don't have to exit to do it on a menu. That is a good little feature. You can also allocate the button you want to do that with. I use the up and down buttons on the crosspad. Now bike settings. This is the entire list of settings for your suspension. Yeah, it's not very impressive, but they do make quite a difference. So yeah, that's kind of it, really. Now handlebars, which you can only do this with race bikes from what I'm aware of. From all the bikes that I've tried so far, race bikes only lets you do this. You got your rake and your trail. There's your explanation for you on the right hand side. If you're really interested, pause it and read it, because I don't really fancy giving you a lecture on how bikes work. Final gear ratio and your first to sixth. That's your transmission. Nothing very complicated there. It's not very precise, but most of the gearboxes come pretty well preset, so you shouldn't be having many problems with that if you are interested. Now let's get on to some riding. Now as you can see by the graphics, it's probably the best motorbike graphics out there at the moment. So if you're out there looking for a game, it's probably the best one. Sorry, I'm pushing all the wrong buttons here. And let me go through the camera view. So this is the camera view I normally use. It's first person, then you can move on to helmet camera. But as you're going to be able to tell, if I just cycle back through the cameras, I'm going to go onto this straight. Stop. I named this bike Boris, by the way, if you're interested. And the road going version is called Matilda. Now, as you can hear, the bike sounds really lovely. One of the best sounding bikes on the game. As you can hear by the audio quality, listen to it now and then listen to it when I change to helmet camera. You see the difference? It makes it a lot less quiet. It's not bad. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't do it justice. So there are all your camera views. So back to the physics. The physics are really nice, especially on a race bike. Absolutely tremendous. The gearboxes are great. It's not a bad game to begin with. But my honest review on this is quite simple. You're probably going to fall into one of two categories as a gamer. If you are really into motorbikes and you're in the same sort of category as me, you've been dying for a bike game that has had the effort and passion put into it of some of the car games, this isn't for you. It's not even halfway there. At best, this game is a beta. My honest hand-to-heart opinion on this is that this game shouldn't have been released in the state that it is. It really shouldn't. You'll find out more about that in the Let's Rant video. It really shouldn't have been released in this state. If you're really interested in playing the best biking game there is available on the console, give this game a bit of time. I will keep updates coming on this channel. I will keep, every time they're doing a patch for this game, an update, I will do a video and I'll let you know what the state of the game is. But as it stands right now, from the original version upon release, it is a buggy, broken. Let me stress that word, broken. This game is broken. If you want to play the career, I mean, I only got to rank 200 in the career and it broke. And there are many other reviews out there of people that have played this game, and there's especially some sort of bug at rank 100. As soon as you get to rank 100, it corrupts the entire save file. So, simply, if you're really looking forward to a bike racing game, probably recommend go get MotoGP for now, and maybe give it a month, not just a month, give it a couple of months. This game is nowhere near ready. It's probably 6 months off being ready. And then maybe once I've added some more content, maybe once I've actually finished the game, then I could recommend it. But right now I can't recommend it to anybody, especially not for full price. I paid £45 for this. I'm quite disappointed. I wasn't really getting my hopes up over it, but still. Now, if you're not in that category, you're probably in the second category, which is, I actually don't really care about bikes, I'm not really into it. And to be honest, if you ever wanted to get into bike games, this is not the one to do it on. It will only disappoint you. As with any sort of game, always start off with the best version of the type of game you want to play. So if you're into a specific type of game, go out there, find the best version, play that, so then you get the best experience first time out. Now if you want to experience good bike physics, they're not bad on it. But the entire experience as a whole is disappointing. It makes you angry. It's just, this game is not ready for gamers yet. It's not ready to be released to the public, and for some reason it has been. So if you're not in the category of wanting a bike game, simply go buy a different one, or wait until this gets on sale and it's had a fuck ton of patches. Then maybe give it a look. But honestly, for now, you might as well just not bother with it. Seriously, no matter how tempted you are to get this game, save your money, buy something else. That's all I can really say for it right now. I would show you all the bikes, I would show you everything else, but I don't think you need to know. The game isn't good enough for you, for me, for any gamer. Especially not good enough for any bike fan, because it's not doing us justice. Car games get blood, sweat and tears into the making of them. The amount of money that goes into them, the amount of time and effort. Bike games rarely see that same thing. Bike games rarely ever see anything close to that amount of effort, quality, or just commitment. This game isn't finished. This game is a buggy, broken piece of mess that isn't completed. Don't buy it. I'll keep you updated on the state of it as it develops in its life, if it ever continues, because it's had a very hard start, mainly being released unfinished. Simple as that. Gamers are tired of games companies bringing out games that aren't complete. So on that note, guys, I'll keep you up to date on the game. I'll see you in the next video. If you want to see my unchained opinions on Ride, you want to hear the full adult version with a swear word every 2 minutes, I'm sure it will be, go over and check Let's Rant Ride and hear the full brutal opinion on it. But for now, guys, love you all as always. Don't buy Ride. I'll see you in the next video. For now, goodbye.